My dear students of class 8, let me teach you the second chapter of the English reader, that is Stopping by Woods on a Snowy Evening. The author is Robert Frost. He is a very famous man, and he believed that realism should be the vital part of poet's work. He was also a dramatist, and his works, be it a poem or a drama, dealt with the actions of common people and their day to day life. The meaning of the poem might be interpreted in different ways. However, the most commonly accepted one is that we must not take so much time in enjoying the things that come our way. The life is to do something great, and for that, we have to keep moving. Now, as for you students, as the parents are giving you the mobiles or the net facility, you must remember that you should not be stuck up with the momentary pleasures of watching movies or playing any online games in the mobile. But we have a higher goal. We must move ahead. To do so, at times we have to give up the good things as well. At times we will have to give up to reach a higher stage, to reach the highest peak of success. We will have to sometimes skip even our meals, or we have to skip the comfort of the bed. We may have to get up early, go later to the bed. Only then, only those who are ready to sacrifice their pleasures would be able to reach a challenging position tomorrow. So keep in mind as I teach you this lesson and always in your life. So the summary of the poem is, as the little title of the poem suggests, the poet is writing about one of his experiences of a journey that he most probably had during the winter season. He is on his horse driven cart and returning home. He stops near a property, that is a wood, that is a jungle. And on the other side, there is a lake which is frozen because of the extremely cold weather. Meanwhile, the poet's horse is surprised that his master has stopped at a strange place because he never used to stop at that place. It shakes the harness so that the bell may ring. So it's shaking its head and its belt. The intention of the horse is to inform the poet if he has stopped here by mistake. Other than the bell of the harness, the poet can only hear the sound of the wind. At last, the poet decides that he must move to reach the destination, which is the motive of his journey. Even the horse is indicating or giving the clue. In today's world of lockdown, in today's world of corona, the world, the nature is giving us some messages. We must read the messages of the time, and for that, we must be prudent enough. If we shut up ourselves within the walls of the computer, mobile, network, we will not be able to read the signs of the time today. We will not be able to read what's the message the nature is giving us. So, the Robert Frost had a very clear view on the nature of life. There is a famous quote by him in 3 words. I can sum up everything I have learned about life. It goes on. This poem supplies even more clarity about his vision. Frost believed that when life is moving, we must move too. Yes, there will be moments that we may bring joy momentarily. However, once we have hearts, we must move towards the destination. So when you go to a bakery or a hotel or a restaurant or a playground, you find some kind of pleasure over there. You cannot stuck up over there. You must go ahead. That is what the poet is telling us. We must not be stuck up by the momentary pleasures that the life gives us. To reach a stage, we must skip all these things and go ahead. We should not be stuck up by the passing pleasures of the world. So, have you visited any cold place during the snowfall? Have you seen the snowfall? In Orissa, we don't have much snowfalls. But if you have visited ever the European countries, you would have seen like the frozen lakes and all, and the snowfall. It's very beautiful to see. I also have not visited. I only have seen in the videos, in the mobile phones. So, well, let me now ask you to close the books and listen to me first. And then you open your book when I ask you to open. Whose woods these are, I think I know. His house is in the village, though. He will not see me stopping here to watch his woods fill up with snow. My little horse must think it cure to stop without a farmhouse near, between the woods and frozen lake, the darkest evening of the year. He gives his harness bells a shake to ask if there is some mistake. The early other sounds the sweep of easy wind and downy flake. The woods are lovely, dark and deep, but I have promises to keep and miles to go before I sleep, and miles to go before I sleep. Once again, I repeat, whose woods these are, I think I know. His house is in the village, though. He will not see me stopping here to watch his woods fill up with snow. So the poet is telling, whose woods these are, I think I know. His house is in the village, though. So this jungle or this place or this land belongs to someone who has his house in the village, and he will not be able to see me stopping here as he is on his journey to watch his woods fill up with snow. It's very beautiful scene to see the snow falling on the woods. My little horse must think it's cure miles to stop without a farmhouse near. Between the woods and frozen lake, the darkest evening of the year. My little horse must think it cure. Cure means strange, unusual, or not expected. What's the word meaning of cure? Strange, unusual, or not expected. So the horse is thinking this is unusual. He never used to stop over here. Then why he has stopped it? To stop without a farmhouse near. There is no farmhouse over. Usually he stops only when there is a farmhouse. Between the woods and frozen lake, one side the thick woods and the other jungle, and the other side he has got the frozen lake. The lake is frozen by the because of the severe cold. Now, the darkest evening of the year. Now, when it is snowy and when it is winter, it gets dark very soon. So it's already evening, also darkest evening. He gives his harness bells a shake to ask if there is some mistake. The only other sounds the sweep of easy wind and a downy flake. He gives his hardness, as you see in the textbook, the horse is having something to control, which is put in his head, the belt, the bell. So he is shaking his head with the harness to ask if there is some mistake. So he's asking, is there any mistake? Why have you stopped over here? The only other sounds, the sweep of easy wind and downy flake. So other than this harness, the shaking of the harness bells, other than that, the poet is able to hear only the wind, the sweeping wind, the sound of the wind and downy flake. What is the downy flake means? A small thin piece covered with the soft feathers. That is downy flake. Like it is like a snow is covered over. The woods are lovely, dark and deep, but I have promises to keep and miles to go before I sleep and miles to go before I sleep. The woods are lovely. Yeah, the scenery is very good, dark and deep. So he's explaining, but I have promises to keep. But there are so many things which I have to fulfill on my way. And I must go ahead. I should not stuck over here. I should not be stuck over here. And miles to go before I sleep, and miles to go before I sleep. This is what I also want to tell you, students. We have many things to complete in life. We will have to move ahead. Even this lockdown, it is only for some time. We must go ahead. We have higher goals. So you should not be stuck up by the beauty or the pleasure or the entertainment or enjoyment or anything of this world. You must go ahead, move faster. Don't be look opening your mouth and looking here and there and standing or watching over there. Clear? Have you understood? So the sum and substance of this poem the Robert Frost gives is the woods are lovely. Everything is all the passing pleasures are very beautiful and good. But we will have to move ahead if we want to be a successful person in life. I already have, in the beginning of this session, I already have told you about the poet. He's an American poet, Robert Frost, wrote this poem in 1922 and 2 years before winning the first of his four Pulitzer prizes. He is highly regarded for his realistic depictions of rural life and for his command of American colloquial speech. Born on 26 March 1874 in America, he is famous for two roads diverge in a wood. I took the one less traveled by. Frost died on 29 January 1963 in Boston, United States. We have then the words to know, cure, frozen lake, hardness, and downy flake. Now, understanding the text. The first, page number 18. A. State whether the following sentences are true or false. The house is already full of snow by the time poet arrives. It is not the house, but the woods are full of snow. Okay. In the first paragraph, we read, "My woods seem his house is in the village though, and to watch his woods fill up with snow. It is the woods that is fill up with the snow. So it is wrong. The second question: the poet makes a halt near the farmhouse in the poem. Does he? No, he has not stopped near the farmhouse. That is why the horse is giving a shake with the harness bells. So he's in the second paragraph. We can see why have you stopped? The horse is thinking, why have you stopped? There is no farmhouse over here. So the sentence is wrong. The horse stands in absolute silence without making any sound. No, it is making sound with the shaking of the herd. The poet, fourth one, that's also wrong. Fourth one, the poet observes that the wind is making a lot of sound. No, it is not the winds, but he is able to hear even the soft wind's sound, but it is shaking of his head. Fifth one, towards the end of the poem, the poet finally decides to stop and enjoy the weather. No, he is going ahead. He is telling, don't stop nearby any of these places. We must go ahead. We must go ahead. And it is not only the fourth question. The poet observes that the wind is making a lot of wind is also making sound. He is able to hear that sound also. The only two sounds that was able to hear was the shaking of the harness and of the wind. So the fourth one is true. Okay. So let me go to the next B. Answer the following questions. How did the poet know whose woods these were? So the poet in the beginning of the poem says he thinks he knows, and in the second line he confirms that the owner lives in the village. Second question: why would the horse think it cool to stop in front of the farmhouse? The horse thought of it to be strange because there is no farmhouse nearby. Third question: how does the horse communicate to the poet? The horse gives his harness bell a shake, by which he communicated. Fourth question: what is the only other sound that the poet listens to? So I told you just now, he was able to hear two sounds. That is, one is harness bell, which the horse shaked, and the other was sweep of the wind. The poet listens to the sweep of the wind. Fifth question, what happens to the narrator's feelings in the last stanza? The narrator feels that the woods are lovely deep, but he cannot stop to enjoy the beauty because he has a long journey ahead of him. Because I'm going to the third C. Answer these questions with reference to the context. He will not see me stopping here. Who is he and me in the quoted line? So he is the owner of the woods and me is the poet. Second, B. Name the poem and the poet of this quoted line. So the poem is Stopping by the Woods on a Snowy Evening by Robert Frost. C. Where has the poet stopped? The poet has stopped in the woods. D. Why will he not see the poet stopping there? The owner will not see the poet because he lives in the village. E. What has attracted the poet suddenly? The poet is attracted by the lovely, dark, and deep woods. What time of the year is suggested by the poet? It's a winter season. We go to the next question 2. He gives his harness bells a shake. So, question number A. Who is he? Why does he shake the bells? So, the poet's little horse gives his bell a shake. It is poet's little horse and he gives his bell a shake. B. Where is the narrator in this moment? The narrator is in the woods, stopped over there. Why has the narrator, see, why has the narrator gone there? The poet in between a journey and he has stopped a while to savor the beauty of the woods, to enjoy the beauty of the woods. E. Explain the expression downy flake in the poetic context. So downy flake here is referred to the snowflakes. D. Think and answer. Why does the poet repeat the line and miles to go before I sleep? This indicates that he is enjoying the scene and wants to do so for long. But he has other responsibilities in life. So he has to go a long way before he sleeps. So he cannot get the enjoyment for long. So he has to move on. Second question, is the poet sad or regretful in the poem? If so, why? The poet is a bit regretful because he cannot enjoy the picturesque beauty of the nature around him because he must go ahead. Now, E. Read and appreciate the poem. I hope students you would pause the video and get the question answers written. Critically analyze this poem and explain the moral driven home by the poet. The moral underpinned by the poet is that the world might appear to be very beautiful and attractive, but sometimes the best choice is to select responsibilities of life over the pervasive beauty and attractions around. So once again I repeat, the moral underpinned by the poet is that the world might appear to be very beautiful and attractive, but sometimes the best choice is to select responsibilities of life over the pervasive beauty and attractions around. We move ahead, playing with the words. Many adjectives can be formed by attaching suffixes to root words. For example, bear plus able is bearable. Spite plus full is spiteful. Spit. Okay, craft plus y is crafty. So, and make new adjectives by adding suffixes to the words given below and use them in sentences of your own. We have dead. Dead plus deadly. Now, second is live. Lively. Third, economic. Economical. Fourth, jealous. Jealousy. Fifth, sleep. Sleepy. 6. Taste, tasty. 7. Lone, alone, that is alone. Lonely. 8. Angry, angrily. Rhyme scheme is the practice of rhyming words placed at the end of the lines in the prose or in the poetry. It refers to the order in which particular words rhyme. If alternative words rhyme, it is an AB rhyme scheme. For example, little red bird at my patio door attracts his reflection as he's done before. So it follows A, B, C, B. Okay. Here we see the rhyme scheme A, B, C, B. Now write the rhyme scheme of the poem Stopping by the Woods on a Snowy Evening. I already have given A, B, C, D, A, B, C, A, D, D, E, D, F, G, F, F, H, 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 H. Once again, I repeat, the first four lines are A, B, C, A. Second paragraph is D, D, E, D. Third paragraph is F, G, F, F. Fifth is full H. C. Fill in the blanks with the correct phrasal verb from the list of words given below. I have all the information that you need, but I'm busy. Can I dash to you in half an hour? So, can I get back to you? Get back to you. Second, large companies sometimes dash the smaller ones. Large companies take over the smaller ones. Third, my brother and I dash very well most of the time, but occasionally we do have fight. So, my brother and I get along very well most of the time, but occasionally we do have fight as you have at home. Fourth, Fourth is I dashed playing football a long time ago because of knee injury. I gave up. Fifth, don't worry, we'll try to dash the problems and find a solution for everyone. Fifth, sort out the problems. Sixth, the energy company dash our electricity because we didn't pay. What do if we do not pay the bill? They cut off. The phone, they cut off. So, cut off. Sixth is cut off. Now, learning the language. Circle the dependent clause and underline the independent clause. Because Sita ran, she was able to catch the bus. Dependent clause is because Sita ran. Independent clause is she was able to catch the bus. Second, until the sun sets, I will stay back to look after you. So, dependent clauses until the sun sets and independent clauses I will stay back to look after you. Third question, as the lights dim, I will say goodbye. So, dependent clauses as the lights dim and independent clauses I will say goodbye. Fourth question, wherever he might go, I will follow him. So, dependent clauses wherever he might go, independent clauses I will follow him. Next, will you be able to do? So long as you know, I will be waiting for you. So, dependent clauses, so long as you know. Independent clauses, I will be waiting for you. 6. If the clothes are on sale, he will buy them. So, dependent clauses, if the clothes are on sale, and independent clauses, he will buy them. So, students, I hope you have understood what is this dependent and independent clause. Dependent clause is without which the sentence is not complete, without the supporting the other one. Independent clauses, see, for example, he will buy them. He will buy is not a dependent clause. It is independent. Without the other one also, it is complete. I hope you have understood and enjoyed the lesson. If you have any queries, call up to me or WhatsApp to me in my number, which is 7470810388. Okay, students, bye. Take care. God bless you. Miss you.